Thanks, Kim. So Ricky, are you gonna
Yep, I'm gonna do a little. I'm gonna show you kind of what's new on CoStar and kind
okay?
of take you through it real quick. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yep.
Actually, are you guys seeing CoStar? Because I think I don't know if it's highlighting the right screen or not. Let me see here.
It's the cover. It's the start page.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, great. Okay, okay. The news page, right? Okay. So something that's brand new that I want to tell you about is the new tenant database. So this is, you guys don't have this yet. I only have it, but it's going to be available to you very soon. Let me just show you. So you can, what's relevant about this is besides it being updated, now what's tying in all the tenant data and giving you a new user interface and new filters. So for example, if you have an office tenant or a retail tenant, you can say like, let's just go office. Say you're looking for like 10,000 or 20,000 square foot. You can then come to the filters and you can say, okay, I want to see tenants that are expiring in this area within the next year. And so if you zoom out a little bit, so based on these requirements, you can then look through like, okay, these are the tenants that their lease is going to expire if they're an office tenant in the next year. And then here's the list. You can actually build your list and actively prospect to them if you've got um, a vacancy that you're trying to fill. And this is all brand new. So I wanted to show it to you guys. And then from here, you can either export this list right here, or if you go, or you can go and into reports, and then you can go like a tenant summary report, and then it'll look like this. And just if you generate the report, it'll give you a nice list, and then that way you can actively prospect these to try to get them into your property instead of someone else's.
When is that going to be available for us, Ricky?
So it was supposed to launch this week, but it's probably going to launch the first week of April. But this is all brand new, and you can sort it by like the location. You can bounce them back and forth, just like when you're searching in CoStar from the list view to the map view, and then you can also look at like the actual tenant companies too. And like I said, we've got some enhanced filters in here as well. So you can include ones that are like if they're on a month-to-month lease, or if you just want to say, okay, um, I want to narrow that even down even more the next 6 months. And you can look at those properties based upon your requirements. And you can do it, whatever the asset class is, you can put that in there and put your requirement in there to go after these tenants. All right. And then the other thing, besides that, of course, you can always go to an area and lease comps and prospect people that way. But I would say with this new interface, this would be the best way to do it. Is there any questions?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then just also so you know, like if when you're looking in CoStar, like if you're looking for an active loan, um, and I just want to run through that one more time, is you just come here to the filters and then you go to loan, and then you just want to hit active, and then you can
What does
just select.
active mean?
It just means the active CMBS loans, like in any given area. So then you can look
Hmm.
at, then you can like let's just say like any one of these properties. If we look at this one or we look at this one, um, we can actually go to the loan tab and see like what the position is on the loan. So you can see if it's on a watch list, if it's going to be on a watch list, if it was on one. You can see pretty much all the commentary and all the information And this was
So
updated
let me
March
ask you, if it's
2023.
on a watch list, does that mean it's pre-foreclosure?
Uh, Typically that's what happens. Yeah.
And where
Unless
would
they,
you find that if it's on a watch list?
so here, so we're, it'll tell you like if they're delinquent, it'll give you all the commentary. So,
Oh, I see. Okay, watch list February 2023 to March 2023.
yep, yep. And it
So
gives you kind of,
that means it's almost pre-foreclosure.
yeah, you're right, Joe. No,
Okay, that's good to know. I wonder,
yeah.
can you do a search for only
Sure.
for only properties in the watch list?
Well, you actually,
It's a great market.
yeah. And the other thing I just want to point out, this is also brand new content that we had because before this was only available to like our large bank customers. I mean, they'd pay anywhere between 6,000 to 8,000 or more for this content. But now we give this to our clients now as just a value add. But we never had this before. And then the financials, whenever it's a CMBS loan, now we're going to have the actual income statement on the property too. We're just going to let it load. Now, if
You
it's
know,
not,
Ricky, you exited that screen. So where it says watch list and has those dates, in that
I
case, it was
can go
February.
back to, yeah, I'll go back to it.
That's okay. I just have a question. So if you go in there, would it
Mhm.
tell you if the loan's delinquent?
It will definitely tell you what's exactly happening. Yep,
Mhm.
yep.
And so if I went in and did a search, like
I
I was
don't,
looking for recent sales information, but just tag in for properties on the watch list, would it pull it up?
yeah. And if you want, Joe, we can do like a separate training on that. And
Yeah, okay. I didn't, I'm sorry to interrupt you like that. I'm
no,
just,
you're not.
this is
No,
a, this,
you're not.
yeah,
That's great. That's fine.
that's a great
Happy.
tool.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
asking good
Like
I
questions,
mean,
yeah.
with rates where they're at and people having to refinance, you never know what you're gonna score.
exactly. Yeah. You know, that's the one thing about this market. It is, I mean, even though it is what it is, there's always an opportunity and there's always someone, um, like this could be a trigger event that could make a big difference in, whether the property, transacts or not. And if you get
Mhm,
someone that's in trouble, that's like a perfect buying opportunity if you get the right people. And I know you have a lot of people always looking to buy stuff.
mhm.
Well,
Yeah,
talking about how to get database. I mean, here you can just reverse engineer it to see like who's in distress or potential distress and target
exactly, Meny.
those individuals specifically, you know? So
Hmm.
this is good stuff.
Yep. Yeah. So this is, and I'm just going over this because this is new stuff that we just launched last year and not everyone's aware of it. And, they didn't know that we have financials or the loan information. And that's just back in if you go back, kind of like what I did is I just went to starting in all properties, I just went to the filters and I went to the loan tab and then I just clicked on active. So it tells me all the active loans. All right. That's just how I got there.
Are inactive loans in default?
Well, disposed means it can mean a lot of different things, but if you don't select either one of these and just leave it, if we just clear it, then you'll be looking at properties that it probably won't pick it up. So you have to select one or the other. And
Mhm,
then you can also put like the pay status right here. So if you want to look for something that's in foreclosure or default, you can do that
mhm.
here.
This is
Or
exciting.
mhm, mhm, yeah. So it's actually, really relevant to especially now what's happening in the market. So it's just an extra piece of information that can really help you and make a big difference.
Is this part available now?
No, yes, this is available already. Yep. Yep, you already have access to this. Yep. And then if it's not a CMBS loan, we'll still have information, but it would be under like the public record. So for like the loan to value and the rates and the last loan, that would be on there if the property is not a CMBS loan, because not every property is.
Are your customer service people up to date on this?
What do you mean our customer service people?
What Ricky, you're very
Hmm.
informative and knowledgeable.
Hmm.
I'm wondering if tomorrow I was to go into CoStar and I hit a stumbling block as far as a search,
Mhm.
and I pulled up your customer support. Are
Yeah,
they
I
tuned
wouldn't,
in?
I would not, that's not what they're there for. They're there for, like, if you somehow get locked out of your CoStar and, you know,
Oh,
they can
okay.
patch you in touch with like tech support, but they're not good for training. I would say reach out to me.
Okay.
And if we go to the help and feedback, like wherever you are in CoStar, if you go to this little part right here, if you go to help with features,
Mhm.
now we actually do have like we got a national training group that puts all these different classes together. So if you don't want to set something up with me, if you just wanted to come here, you could actually you could come to one of these and just, you know, select it and register
That's
for the
pretty cool.
class. Yeah. And this is something new. We didn't have this. We just launched this year. So we now got this big training staff, and all they do is all these trainings. You know, we've always had like these little user guides and stuff, and then the video tutorials, um, which we've always had in like the knowledge center, but now we actually have them kind of like all here right on the same page. But a lot of people are really finding that these classes, you know, can be very helpful.
Hmm.
Yeah, but that's let me just log back in real quick. And that's just where the question mark is.
Mhm.
Where are you, wherever you are on CoStar, if you just click on that and just go to help and feedback, and then that's where you can find that. But I'd highly recommend, if you ever have a question, just please call me. If for whatever reason, you know, I'm
Well, yeah,
busy at
I
that
gotta tell
moment.
you, today,
Mhm.
today, there's so many people sitting on their properties or afraid to spend money, you
Right,
know, and you've opened up a whole new world with this loan information.
good.
Because, you know, if a person's retiring a 3.5% interest rate loan with the possibility of getting a 5.5% interest rate loan, they may liquidate the property,
Right.
you know, and right now Chase is offering 5-year interest only loans, which makes some of these things make sense.
Hmm.
I'm guessing, I'm hoping, I'm praying. Yeah, looking for deals. By the
Yep.
way, Ricky, you know, is it possible to purchase email addresses from CoStar?
No.
I
No,
think you
the
just have to
way
go through and download them.
so yeah, the way you have to do it is just go through properties, and then when the report that you want to select. So
Mhm.
let me just take your
Yeah, I've been
example.
doing that. I,
So
you
okay,
know, I've been,
and you go to
yeah, you know,
like
I've been,
the and you go to company contacts, right? The true
yeah,
owner.
I just
Yep.
I click on the name, click on
Hmm.
contacts, there's a drop down menu with an email address. And you know,
Yep.
I've been doing that, but you know what the problem is now? I sent out an email blast in November and I got emails, I got calls, et cetera, et cetera. And
Hmm.
now I don't get shit. So I'm
Yeah.
thinking I need to double or triple my email base.
Well, you
And
know,
it's cumbersome to go through every record to get it.
what I would suggest is, most people like nowadays get so inundated with emails. That's probably why they're, certain times of the year maybe they'll be more apt to look at it. But
Mhm,
I don't know. I get so many emails every day that I just delete, and I know a lot of people do. Um,
mhm.
you know, I would say the best thing to do would be to try to call them first, and then once
Yeah,
they know who you are, then they're more apt to
yeah,
read that email.
yeah.
But
I think
and
you're right.
yeah,
You're right.
I would definitely say, do that first, and try to make that connection before you send that email. Um, because otherwise it might their spam may even catch it before they even can open it, because that's what happens
Mhm,
with my emails. Sometimes my spam filter works too good that I miss good emails that I need to get, but
mhm.
it's just kind of the world that we're in right now.
Ricky, not to have you repeat everything, but
Mhm.
we actually had about 5 or 6 people join just after you finished showing us that new feature that we're getting. Is there any way you could just give a quick recap of that part?
Absolutely. So what you're currently getting now, right? versus the new one that's coming out, sure, I can do that right now.
Yeah,
So, sure. So for example, like if I'm gonna select here office and go to, I can go to the loan tab and look at all the active or disposed like CMBS loans. I want to click active, and I'm going to leave my pay status with everything. So it'll just pick up everything instead of just narrowing it down. And then if I was just to go into any one of these properties like this one, I can see what's happening with the loan. So if I click on the loan tab again, now it's going to give me pretty much everything that's happening with the loan. And then I can look at all the commentary. So I can see it was on a watch list. It's been on a watch list like the last 3 years. Actually, yeah, since January 2020. And the other thing I can do is, besides looking at all the commentary and then all the information that we have, we can also look at like, okay, how's the property performing? We can look at the actual income statement from the property itself. Just give it a second, and here we go. We can see everything that's happening with this property. And why this is relevant, because it's a trigger event, and you could potentially, you know, capitalize on someone that you know, this is, you know, if they're behind and if they're in trouble, then, you know, with the right buyer, you could come in and get this property. And this is something that we just launched this content last year, so that's why I'm showing it too.
It's very valuable.
Again, it was only available to all of our large banking clients. So like we've got a separate division that only handles like, you know, like the Bank of Californias and the Chases and everyone else, you know. And this was like content that they only got prior to CoStar deciding to give all content to all clients. So. And how, you're welcome. You're welcome. And then how I found that is I just went to all properties, and then I just went to filters, and I went to loan. Okay. And then the other thing, since a group just joined, is anywhere in CoStar where you see this little question mark, if you click on it, go to help with features, you can see our national training calendar. Oh, nice. Let me try that one more time. If I click on this, I can go to the help with features. There we go. And here's all the different training topics coming up this month, and then you can look at what's coming up in April, and you can just sign up for one of these classes.
Would lender focus be valuable?
Yeah, absolutely. So I highly, and then if you have questions, please reach out to me. I'm happy to do a training, whether it's a group training or like an individual training. That's what I'm here for.
Awesome. Did anyone have any questions on all this?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, thank you, Ricky.
Well, thank you so much for your business. Thank you for your time. Great seeing you guys, and
Hey,
we'll see you guys soon. Okay.
Okay.
good seeing you, Ricky.
Okay. Thank you. Good seeing you too.
Take care.
All right. Yep. Bye-bye.
Did anyone have anything else that they wanted to, you know, discuss or bring to the discussion?
Well, I mean, first, just to piggyback on what thanks everybody for being here, because you know you don't know what you don't know, and he's showing right now a tool that is available or was recently available, and it's good to understand the potential that you can utilize that to get more business, or how to understand like what's really happening out there. So that's golden, especially right now. And then I don't know if you want to expand on this conversation from earlier. Jason was mentioning that right now he has a transaction that they had to switch title company because they didn't want to insure the property because of the bank that the buyer was using for the loan. Because of that, I guess right now there's a list, and I don't know if anybody can get a hold of that list. If there is a list of some kind publicly, or I'm not sure like what is this list about, but sounds like there's a list out there of banks that they're at risk, like what happened with
SVB, yeah,
Yeah,
the one,
yes.
Silicon Valley Bank, and
Yeah.
the other one, First Republic. Yep.
yeah, exactly.
If I'll ask, I have got one of my my lender associates that sits over by me, and I'll ask him if there's a list or if anything that he can share, any insight. I'll also ask my economist too, that they had conflicts today, they couldn't be on the call,
Yeah,
and I'll ask the economist if they know of a list. And
Yeah, that's
if you give that
Jason,
to me, I'll
what
provide
title
it.
company? What title companies did you try to use?
Well, here's the thing. This thing just came up, and we're closing tomorrow, right? So
Oh, shit.
it's been reviewed, and of course,
Mm.
you know. And so at the time, we were Orange Coast title, which always never had a problem before. Specifically, I can't remember the bank that the buyer's using, but it was a bank doing business as, it was DBA, and that was a problem. But we went over to Ticor. But I'm also having a problem with this, not the same lender, with another lender, with First American Title as well. So with another lender. So I'm asking the rep to give me the list, the bank list, so I can see it. So we have people that come to us with their offers. We can make sure that we head this off before it gets started. You know, I mean, I'm sure there's somebody that'll hit the risk, but what is that going to cost? And I don't know what that looks like right now. But I think if it'd be helpful if I get that list, I'll forward it onto the group.
yeah, and
That'd be
again,
helpful.
yeah. So we'll try to get a list of some kind of a list, the secret list. There are two banks so far on that
The
list.
secret list.
So we know who to bank with, and by the way, it's good for you guys to know, because if you are going to a transaction and you already have, hey, this bank is on the risk factor, that's going to might be an issue, or we want to know which probably going to be hard to figure out until it's happening. Which title companies, right, on the commercial side are more solid and taking those risks. Like, Jason, once you're going to close this deal, it's going to be all, sunshines and butterflies. Let us know so we, understand exactly the situation, risk factor.